Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle and this is a word of caution regarding watching pick a card love readings. So while there is nothing inherently wrong with wanting to know where you stand with the love interest on your mind, the reason why you're wanting to know where you stand with them matters greatly, as it can greatly impact your mental and emotional well-being. So a very good question to ask yourself when it comes to why you're watching pick a card love readings is, am I simply curious or am I actually clinging? Holding on to hope isn't always a good thing, especially if it's keeping you stuck in limerence or in codependence. The last thing I want to do is to enable limerence and codependence with the content that I create. I want to help you create a life in which you're truly thriving, not keep you stuck in survival mode. And I know how it all works because I've been there. So this is where grace, knowledge, understanding, and compassion come in. It's okay if the only way you're able to self-soothe in this moment is by way of participating in coping mechanisms, distractions, and the like. As long as you're also doing yourself a favor by learning how to heal the wounding that has been fueling any limerence and or codependent patterns that you might have. My promise to you is that as you heal the wounding, your dependency on your SP, which means specific person, aka the person on your mind, or your ex, will begin to dissolve naturally, to the point where you're not even curious about what they're thinking and how they're feeling about you anymore. I know this to be true from personal experience. When you're ready to start healing the wounding, I have some amazing resources to get you going. My personal recommendation is to start with 2 videos, how to stop manifesting separation, and then the other one is called Releasing the Wants. Both videos will be linked in the description box below. My heart is always with you guys, and with that I bid you more happy viewing. Love, Michelle. What's going on, Pile 1? Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Michelle. We're doing another pick a card love reading, tapping in and channeling through who you are to your person, where you currently stand with them, and what is it they're wanting when it comes to you and their connection with you. So just keep in mind, you guys, it's a collective general love reading. So if something resonates, do whatever you want with it. If something isn't quite landing, just drop that bit of information or that message and leave it behind for whomever it might be resonating with. I do have personal readings available if you would like for me to tap exclusively into you and your person's connection. All the booking details can be found in the description box below. I have a lot of readings available in the specific person category. Many of them are just $25. And I do have this reading in this exact format available for you as well, under specific person readings, okay? So let's get started on your guys's reading. You guys were drawn to the moss agate. Is it tree moss agate or just moss agate? I don't know. Moss agate. Okay, I'll have to double check and see if there's something called tree moss agate. Anyway, what do we got here? Who you are to your person. We have the 3rd quarter moon with adjustments are required. So your person could be for who you are and you know who you and your connection is to your person. There's kind of this energy of your person, maybe I'm hearing stepping back and evaluating, like really looking at things. And then we also have the 2 of Cups. Okay. We also have the Queen of Pentacles in the reverse and the Page of Cups in the reverse. And so there's a sense here, if I'm reading this from your person's perspective, and of course we're going to delve deeper and to find out what, you know, their actual energy is towards you. And with the Queen of Pentacles being in the reverse, this is pointing more towards the divine feminine in this connection as opposed to the divine masculine. And so you guys are on the same page. There's like mutual romantic emotional attraction here. But when it comes to like maybe the material and maybe even the emotional expression to that, the 2 of you may be like not on the same page. Okay, your person could be seeing you, if you are the divine feminine, not particularly grounded. There could be a sense of immaturity, and this is their okay, this is one of those readings, Pile, one where, you know, we're just talking about how your person is seeing things. Of course, it could be a projection, but you know, if the shoe fits, you know, could be something to kind of giving you an idea into like, if they have stepped back or they have pumped the brakes on this connection, we're finding out why, okay? And this could serve as maybe some self-reflection to see, you know, is this person perception of me, is it coming from a true space, right? Or is this person possibly projecting? Okay, and then yeah, you guys were drawn to the moss agate or the tree moss agate, which can correspond to, you know, like earth energy. It's kind of giving me that earth energy. And so something about not being grounded, and not in the material sense. So I don't know if you have a lot of financial instability, a lot of debt, you know, and then with the Page of Cups in the reverse, a bit of emotional immaturity, and maybe when it even comes to like emotional expression, not really being able or having the ability to express your needs and wants clearly, or just not doing that at all. Okay, but let's see. Let's find out, because we're gonna get into the details here. Pile one's person, show me their overall, their real, true, honest thoughts and feelings. We're just gonna get a few of these cards. Pile one's person, their real, true, honest thoughts and feelings towards pile one at this time. Pile one's person, their real, true, honest thoughts and feelings when it comes to pile one at this time. I'm distracted. Okay, let's get a couple more. I care too much about what other people think. Okay, I see what's going on here. And then we also have I'm not over you. Bottom of the deck, we have I can't do this anymore. Now I'll see if that is, you know, energy that's on its way out, or if it's still kind of humming in the background. And so your person could be doing a lot of projecting, okay? Your person could actually be the one, pile one, that is, I'm hearing emotionally immature. Your person could be unstable in different ways, but instead of really looking at themselves, they could be projecting that out onto you. Regardless, we have I'm distracted, I care too much what other people think, and I'm not over you. And so, yeah, so for many of you, your person has kind of stepped back, and I don't know, this almost feels like they might be hyper inflating or hyper fixating on the flaws, or what they consider the faults of you and their connection with you, for the reasons, because, you know, I don't know if they care too much about like their reputation. They could have a lot of Virgo placements. There's perfectionism possibly coming through in your person's energy, because there's definitely something in this connection that your person sees that is working with the Two of Cups here, right? So then why are they really hyper fixating on the, you know, this Queen of Pentacles in the reverse and the Page of Cups in the reverse? Let me find out what's going on with I'm distracted. Tell me more about I'm distracted, please. Wow. Pile one's person, tell me more about I'm distracted. Tell me more about pile one's person's I'm distracted energy towards pile one. Your person's not even wanting to discuss any of this. This is interesting. Tell me more about I'm distracted for pile one. The Seven of Swords in the reverse. I mean, that's genuine. So that's not necessarily a strategy that your person is using. It's not necessarily like a distancing technique, okay? But tell me more about the Seven of Swords as it relates to pile one's person being distracted. The Seven of Swords in the reverse. Oh, wow. Okay, so we have the King of Pentacles showing up here, and it was coming out in the reverse, and then it tried to situate itself into like the upright position. So yeah, I feel like there's a lot of I feel like there's a lot of projection, and you very well, pile 2 or 1, could also be, you know, in the Queen of Pentacles. So it's like you guys are almost kind of in a very mirroring energy, in that, you know, I don't know if your finances are just not stable, or there's something about things in the physical realm not being very stable, not being very grounded. And if it's not material things, then it could very well just be, you know, earth energy is very reliable, it's very grounded, very, you know, stabilizing. And so your person is seeing, what they're doing is they're seeing things in you that are mirroring things in themselves that they don't necessarily like. And I'm not sure at this point if your person is realizing that that's what's happening. And it could also be, right? It could also be that your person is seeing themselves as very unreliable, ungrounded, and unstable. And what they're wanting is, or wishing for, or hoping for, is someone who is the exact opposite of that. The exact opposite of that, okay? Because right now, you guys are kind of, and the fact that we do have the energy, the King of Pentacles energy, that wanted to show up in the reverse, but it is starting to situate itself in the upright. Your person could be in the process of stabilizing themselves, whether that's stabilizing their physical, financial, material life, and or just stabilizing their own ability to ground in their own energy, right? And the more that they get to a point where they're able to stabilize themselves, stabilize their life and stuff like that, it could very well be they're looking for a partner to also match that energy, okay? And that's also what they're being distracted by. They're being distracted by their pursuit of, you know, becoming, or I should say, so earth signs are showing up definitely with that. Earth and water, okay? Stabilizing earth energy within themselves. Being very self-grounded, very self-reliable. Yes, you know, King and Queen of Pentacles, they have no problem with commitment, okay? None at all. When they are in the upright position, when they are in the healthy expression of that energy, right? And so as your person is learning how to stabilize, or their own energy is stabilizing, it's like it's starting to highlight what they believe to be, you know, faults and flaws in either you and or their connection with you, okay? I care too much about what other people think. Why is this an issue when it comes to pile 1 and their connection with pile 1? Now, your person is saying that they're not necessarily over you. They're not over it. They're not over you. Again, with adjustments are required, that's just this energy of kind of pulling back and really looking at things and analyzing. And really, they're asking themselves this question of, you know, is pile 1 and or this connection with pile 1 where I want to pour my resources, my time, and my attention and my energy into, okay? I care too much about what other people think. Tell me more about that as it pertains to pile 1 and their connection with pile 1. And I am picking up the energy of your person not necessarily wanting to voice and express a lot of this to you yet, because it feels like they have some things that they're wanting to figure out on their own. Your person is saying that they understand, you know, yeah, maybe more communication is needed when it comes from them, because I don't feel like they're communicating any of this. The Hermit energy is coming through, Virgo, okay, energy coming through energetically. And so they're being silent about a lot of this. And the reason why that is, it's not, the reason why they're being silent about it is because they're trying to get a good handle on where they're coming from before, because what they're saying is right now, you would have a lot more questions than they have answers to at this point. And they want to be able, no matter what they do, figuring themselves out where they're at in regards in relation to you and their connection with you. I hope that makes sense. Tell me more about I care too much about what other people think. There's that Two of Cups. There's kind of your person has this idea of who they should end up with, what makes sense for them. But I don't know if that's necessarily coming from I don't know if that's coming from an authentic space. Because again, your person is not yet in the upright King of Pentacles energy. It's kind of getting situated that way, but when it's kind of unstable like that, a lot of this inner, contemplation and reflection might be coming from a wounded space, or could be coming from fear or doubts or insecurity, right? They may not be seeing things too clearly. Tell me more about I care too much about what other people think. They're focusing too much on, yes, okay, it's all right to, be like, what makes sense for me personally, but it feels like your person is putting too much weight on what makes sense to other people in regards to their own personal lives, right? Who they should end up with romantically, long term. Tell me more about I care too much about what other people think in regards to pile one and their connection to pile one. The fact that we have the Two of Cups coming out, this goes to show that you guys actually are on the same page. I'm hearing mentally and emotionally. But there's something about the physical realm, financial realm, or something like that. I don't know if you guys have a lot of debt, pile one. Student loan stuff could be coming through. And it's weird why the opinions of other people on, what they might think about you and your compatibility, or whether or not you and your connection with them makes sense. I don't know. I shouldn't judge that, I guess. Tell me more about I care too much about what other people think in relation to pile one and their connection with pile one. Why does that matter to pile one's person? Why does that matter to pile one's person? The Two of Pentacles. Why does this matter to pile one's person? What does pile one's person stand to lose if other people don't agree with pile one's person's choice, or to choose pile one? What do they stand to lose? What do they stand to lose? What's it costing pile one's person? Oh, there's a sense that if, the people in their life don't agree with their choice to choose you, that there's a moving away, losing connection, losing support, stuff like that, okay? Your person, for some reason, is overly dependent on other people's support of their decision. Tell me about I'm not over you. The Three of Pentacles in the reverse. Tell me more. Yeah, they may have walked away from this connection and they're doing things on their own, but they're not over you. This almost feels, again, like your person kind of getting in their own way with things. They're not, is this energy coming from an authentic space, or is it coming from fear? It's coming from fear, okay? What happened to that card? There it goes. Yeah, definitely coming from fear. A lot of projection going on in your person's energy. It's not, if they were to really kind of settle down and look at things, they wouldn't put so much weight on like your financial capabilities, or your debt, or, you know, other people's opinions, you know, on you and stuff like that. None of that would matter. At the core of your guys' connection, you guys are actually a match with that Two of Cups energy right there. Let me see what's going on with I can't do this anymore at the bottom of the deck. Tell me more about I can't do this anymore. Okay, that's weakening, which is good. So what does this mean for pile 1 and their connection with pile 1? What is, I can't do what anymore? Geez, your person is all over the place. I can do what can pile 1's person not do anymore? Jesus. I'm telling you, there's emotional fulfillment here. Okay, your person is emotionally fulfilled, you know, when it comes to you and their connection with you, but that's just not in the, when they're looking at things as a whole, at least that's what they think they're doing, pile 1. Because if they were just tuning into their heart space, you really make this person happy. You fill this person's cup up in more ways than one, but they're not, for some reason, and it could be self-sabotage, right? Because literally what your person is saying is like, I can't do this, I can't just do this emotional thing anymore, you know, like I have to, it's got to make sense in other areas. And you know, the thing about it is, if the energetic makings of a bond is there, the other stuff can be corrected, you know, whatever debts can be paid off, you know, and fuck other people's opinions, right? Whatever the case may be, it's like things in the, you know, you can only, if people's opinions about, you know, things matter. And it feels like it's coming from a superficial stance. It doesn't feel like, you know, yeah, I can see like a person's opinion would matter if they're seeing a dynamic and they're like, that's clearly unhealthy. You shouldn't be with that person because it's negatively affecting your mental and emotional well-being, right? Yes, that opinion definitely matters, but this feels more superficial. This is like, oh, well, you know, when I imagine what pile 1's person would be with, pile 1's not it, but it's coming from a very superficial space, right? You make your person very happy and very emotionally fulfilled, and everything on the outer rim, that can be, you know, that stuff can change it, you know, people can lose weight, or they can get more healthy, or they can, you know, start new businesses. They, you know, physical, financial, you know, relational health can be improved upon, right? What cannot be manufactured is whether or not the emotional alignment is there, and it is. You guys are emotionally aligned. The energy is aligned here. Everything else can be tweaked and stuff like that, and your person is focusing on the wrong thing here, is what that feels like. Okay, so let's find out where you currently stand with your person. Actually, what I want to do, I'll put these, let me get these situated in a different way. Those are my own Virgo placements coming out. Yeah, give me a minute, you guys. And now that I've lined those up with I care too much about what other people think, that's coming out right underneath the Queen of Pentacles in the reverse. You know, they care too much that other people might see you as ungrounded, unreliable, or at least like your finances as unstable, or whatever the case may be, okay? Let's see, pile 1's person, where do they currently stand with pile 1, please? Right, yeah, they're running from the connection. This is runner in a codependent relationship, fear of intimacy, listening to ego. There's the wounding, okay? That's the wounding. Your person isn't seeing things very clearly in this connection because it's stemming from a deeper place. There could be a fear of abandonment here. There could be attachment issues. Let me get a couple more. Where does pile 1 currently stand with their person? Whoa. One went flying. Where did it go? There it is. We have here girl with a snake, empath and narcissist paradigm. Yeah, being charmed or used, enabling boundaries. A lot of projection here. Your person could definitely be either they could either have some heavy narcissistic tendencies, or they could be narcissistic, right? That's how sometimes people who are narcissists or who have narcissistic tendencies, they tend to focus more on the superficial stuff than they do the core stuff, right? Caring too much what a person looks like, how much money they have or don't have, caring too much about, you know, a person's reputation with other people, and that's not always a bad thing, right? You can tell a lot about a person by, you know, sometimes the company that they keep, and a little bit more digging would be required. It's like, okay, why do you only have like, you know, why is it you only have, you know, like, why is it you have no friends, or versus, you know, why is it you can't be alone and you have a ton of friends, you know, why is it that you have a million acquaintances but no real close friends? You know what I mean? And so it's not always dismissive to question, you know, either someone's social circle, who they surround themselves with, or whether they do surround themselves with anybody. But a lot of this is very superficial, okay? It's not your person looking at you like, oh, okay, looking at the quantity of things rather than the quality. It's like, you may not have a shit ton of friends, but the friends that you do have love you to the ends of the earth, right? Stuff like that. Let me get one more. Where does pile 1 currently stand with their person? We have keys on a ring, but it is showing up in the reverse, okay? Upright, it says many options, decision. Oh, and that's coming out right over I'm not over you. Many options, decision, unconventional, stringing along, one night stand. And so this is kind of letting you know, yes, your person, there could be some kind of an inner struggle going on. Paradise at the bottom of the deck. Listen, okay? Your person energetically, mentally, and emotionally, very much on the same page, very much in alignment, you know, with this connection and even wanting the connection, but they are way too hyper focused on superficial things, okay? And it is getting in the way of you guys being able to be like happy with each other. Yeah. Yeah, they do see you as somebody, definitely they see you more than just a one night stand, okay? This isn't them necessarily wanting to be with someone else. But this could be them maybe wanting to, like, give me a minute with that keys on a ring, but in the reverse. It's kind of tough tapping into your person's energy coming through like this, because it's like they're not allowing themselves to even recognize it. So give me a second, you guys. What's going on here? For many of you, they do see you as the one. And it's not necessarily that they want to be with someone else, but they're too hyper fixated on what they think the flaws are. It's all superficial though, so superficial. Your person needs to disconnect from the sense that, you know, is pile 1 is pile 1 a good look for me or not? Fuck that, right? Because whatever the appearance is, those things can be changed. And if they're out here trying to find somebody that's a quote unquote a good look for them, you know, but the energetic alignment is not there, I mean, that's just as bad. I mean, you get what I'm saying? It's like your person's motivation is coming from the wrong place. If they were to get rid of caring what other people think, what other people's opinions are, who they think they look best with, but it's coming from a superficial place, They would choose you and their connection with you in a second, okay? Because you fill them up emotionally. You give them energy and vitality in ways that superficiality never can and never will, okay? Let's see, what does pile one's person want with pile one in their connection? We got waiting. It says holding on to hope, not taking action, standstill and delays. Yeah, I feel like they definitely put a pause on their connection with you. Give me two more. What does pile one's person want with pile one in their shocking events, but it's showing up in the reverse? They're trying not to rock the boat when it comes to the public for some reason. It says unexpected surprise, did not see it coming, unpredictable. That's what they don't want. They don't want unpredictability. And that is something like with grounded earth energy. Earth energy is probably the least unpredictable, element of all four elements. And that might be stemming from your person. Maybe there could be something very unpredictable about you, pile one. And your person doesn't necessarily like unpredictability, because there's sometimes when, spontaneity is not a bad thing. You know what I mean? Your person could very well have a fear of the unknown. They could have some control issues. If you're somebody that's very feisty, pile one, somebody that just kind of has a, like a wildfire, very spontaneous, there's an excitement to that your person can see, but there's also, on the flip side of that, it's also like, there's a fear attached to that as well. It's like there's some ways where they appreciate your spontaneity and your wildfire ways and stuff like that, but then there's other times when they don't, okay? And I guess it more depends. There's a couple of different areas. It's like, for some reason your finances is coming through, all right? Again, that might be a little bit more on the specific side. So if your finances are fine, don't worry about it. I mean, don't worry about it either way. Finances and debts and stuff like that can be definitely worked on and improved. But there's just something here about your person asking themselves, not so much does this make sense for me in pile one, but does this make sense for other people when they view me in pile one together? All right, give me one more. What does pile one's person want with pile one and their connection with pile one? We got risk showing up in the reverse. Yeah, okay. That's what they're not wanting. They're looking at things like how much of a risk, is associated with really locking something down with pile one. We have taking, so in the upright position, it says taking a risk, laying cards on the table, journey into the unknown. They don't, there's something about unpredictability they do not like. Sometimes they don't mind spontaneity if it has nothing to do with, there's also something like maybe with skeletons in the closet, like, if the two of you were to get married or something like that, taking on maybe your debts, or if they see you as somebody that's irresponsible with your finances, having to deal with that, stuff like that. They're really kind of looking at, I'm hearing fiscal responsibility. Fiscal, that's like finances, right? Like fiscal responsibilities that would be added to their plate if they were to take you on in a more committed stance. But at the bottom of the deck, we have love and growth. It says love that grows with time, needs time to grow, unexpected lessons of love. There is a part of them that wants that with you, because again, they do see you like emotionally. They are very emotionally fulfilled when it comes to you. You do make them very happy, but for some reason that energy is taking a back seat to like more what other people think. Does it make sense financially and stuff like that? All right, pile one, that was your reading. Thank you so much for hanging out with me again today. If you got from this reading what you came here for, take a moment, smash the like button for me. It's a great way to energetically donate to the channel, as well as show your appreciation. Comment below, let me know that you picked this pile. Become part of the family if you haven't already done so, simply by subscribing, and don't forget about the notification bell so you don't miss a reading or an announcement. And pile 1, I will see you guys at your next pick a card love reading. Bye guys. Pile 2, what's happening? If you're new here, my name is Michelle. We are back doing another pick a card love reading, tapping in and channeling through who you are to your person, where you stand with them, and what it is they're wanting when it comes to you and their connection with you. So pile 2, just keep in mind this is a collective general love reading, so whatever resonates, do whatever you want with it. If something isn't quite landing, just drop that message or that bit of information and just leave it behind for whomever it's resonating with. I do have personal readings available if you want me to tap exclusively into you and your person's connection. All the booking details can be found in the description box. There are a lot of readings available in the specific person category. Many of them are just $25. There's also this exact reading in this exact format available for purchase as well. Okay, so pile 2, we're going to get right into your reading. Let's see, you guys were drawn to, this is Red Jasper, the Red Jasper skull. Yeah. Red Jasper, let's see who you are to your person. We have the full moon in Leo. It says, don't let pride get in your way. So there's definitely a feeling here. There's attraction that your person feels towards you for who you are to them. Pile 2, attraction, magnetism. Think, King and Queen of Wands energy. That's how your person sees you. Very very drawn in by you. Okay, but with don't let pride get in your way. And then we also have the Four of Swords, the Page of Wands in the reverse, and the Ace of Cups. There's almost a sense of like being very drawn. It's like this beautiful opulent fire, but it's like, I don't want to get too close or I might get burned. Okay, is that kind of an energy? And so with the Four of Wands, this is kind of your person having a tendency to retreat away from the connection, even though they do find it very alluring, very warm, but it's like, and then with the Page of Wands in the reverse, there's almost definitely a hesitation. This could be a newer connection too, or a connection that just never made it, or it hasn't made it yet past what we would consider the beginning stages, okay? And that is very much because your person does fear getting metaphorically burned, okay? So, but I mean, with the Ace of Cups here, the potential is there for a very heart-centered, heart-based, soul-based connection. But your person is very, what do they call that? Is it tentative? Very hesitant to really take full, full advantage and control of this. Well, not control, but, there's just this beautiful energy between the two of you, and your person isn't really fully utilizing the potential of what it can be. All right, let's find out more. Pile 2's person. Oh, so they're in awe of you and the fire and the dynamic and the passion between the two of you. They're in awe of it, and at the same time, they're very scared of it. Let's see, pile 2's person. I'm gonna do one more shuffle. Pile 2's person, show me their real, true, honest thoughts and feelings towards pile 2, please. And this might be what it is. This card was wanting to act very wonky. It didn't know if it wanted to come out in where it says attachment, not love, or this is true love. Okay. Let's get a couple more out. And that is showing up underneath the Four of Swords. And so your person might be trying to figure out, like, is this lust? Is this love? Is what I'm feeling just purely, is it being fueled by my sexual attraction to pile 2, or is it something more, right? Trying to figure that out. The makings for it is something more with the Ace of Cups there, okay? But again, with don't let your pride get in the way, this feels more like don't let your wounded ego get in the way. Don't let your abandonment wounding get in the way. Don't let your attachment issues get in the way, right? Let's get a couple more. Pile 2's person, their real, true, honest thoughts and feelings when it comes to pile 2. They're definitely letting fear do a lot of the talking and driving the bus of this connection here. Yeah, and then we have, I thought I could do this, but I just can't. And that's coming out right underneath the Page of Wands in the reverse. Let me get one more. Pile two's person. Their real, true, honest thoughts and feelings when it comes to pile two and their connection with pile two, please. And I just now noticed, yeah, here we have, let's spend more quality time together. And then we have, I'm not over you, coming out with that. I just now noticed you guys were drawn to the Red Jasper, which is all about, you know, like the root chakra, getting very grounded, feeling safe. Your person may have a very difficult, yeah, and that's what's coming through. Your person has a difficult time feeling safe in the connection, in terms of if your person is dealing with attachment issues that are stemming from abandonment wounds. It's like, you know, they love the fire, they love how it warms them, they love how it fills them, right? Fulfills them. They love the way your energy feels. They love the way your presence, how they feel in your presence. And it's like at any moment they could lose the source of that fire. That's where that sense of not feeling safe is coming from, okay? You know, what if I start to depend on the warmth of this fire and then it abandons me, it leaves me, okay? And then we have, there's someone else showing up at the bottom of the deck. Let me check to see more about that real quick. Tell me more about the bottom of the deck energy. There's someone else. Tell me more about this bottom of the deck energy, please. Okay, this is still whoever, okay, so this is a third party energy coming through. It's still active in your person's energy. Could possibly be a Sagittarius energy coming through. So a lot, again, a lot of fire. This feels like a comfort zone, but whoever this person is seems to kind of help your person. I mean, there's a balance there. Let me see. Oh, and then we have the Queen of Wands at the bottom of the deck. Heavy on fire sign energy coming through. Aries, Leo, Sag. Okay. Heavy Leo energy, heavy Sagittarius energy, but there is a third party involved, more than likely romantic, okay, or somebody that your person is romantically and or sexually attracted to. All right. Tell me about, I thought I could do this, but I just can't. They're not wanting to risk disappointment or being rejected or getting hurt. Tell me more about the Five of Cups in the reverse. This could also be them, you know, if there is an active third party here, your person having, not necessarily wanting to leave that third party behind, okay? Which for many of you, you know, so it feels like they got energy, they got energy going in somewhere else. There's already an established connection somewhere outside of your guys' connection, which could be a large part of the reason why the two of you can never, like your guys' connection could never really get off the ground. Especially with that Page of Wands in the reverse and that Ace of Cups, it's almost like your guys' connection, while it is, you know, filled with fire and passion and magnetism, and your person feels like, you know, pulled and magnetized towards you, it never gets off the ground. It never gets past the beginning stages. And it may be because they are, you know, fully committed somewhere else. Here's the thing though, your person is willing to leave that third party for, you know, you. But there's a safety zone or a comfort zone attached to whoever this other person is. There's some kind of risk involved. They're not against the idea of leaving that third party energy, you know, to fully invest in their connection with you. But for some reason, pile two, they're associating more risk with their connection with you than they are with someone else. whoever this third party energy is, okay? It's almost like, I don't know if it's because, yeah, there's a lot of like, they're afraid you're going to hurt them. They're afraid you're going to abandon them. They're afraid you might leave them for someone else. It's like they fear, like whatever fire they got going on with someone else, they're not afraid of that fire, okay? But they're afraid of yours. All right? They're afraid of yours. Like, you know, yeah, they might get hurt by the other person, you know, but in comparison to what they feel or they're thinking, like what your fire could do, it's like, no, pile 2 could really hurt me, right? And so there's some of that going on. And then we also have, let's spend more quality time together and I'm not over you. Yeah, so your person's not done with their connection by far. They're not done. They don't, you know what I mean? They actually want to spend more time in your presence, more quality time, okay? They're not over at all. Like when it's really good with you guys, like when it's good with you guys, it's really good. But I don't know, there might be something about, you know, when things are bad, it can really be bad. And there's something that's more kind of even keeled with whatever this third party energy is, where they're like, okay, maybe there is a spark with that third party, but it may not be as exciting, or it may not make your person feel as alive as when they're with you. But there's also like, you know, so they don't have like superb highs with that person, but then they also don't have these really dramatic lows as well, okay? You know, for those of you where you know you're in a there is a third party situation here with the vast majority of you. Let's find out where you currently stand with your person, pile 2. Where does pile 2 currently stand with their person? Where do they currently stand with pile 2, please? Where does pile 2's person currently stand with their... Ooh. Okay, so we do have photograph and wedding rings. Very iffy energy, though, that came out. So wedding ring says union, wedding, married, soul connection, eternal love, and everlasting promise. We also have looking at your photos. And that's the looking at your photos part is coming out right on top of that 4 of Swords. And so, you know, you guys, this could be a very quiet connection at this point in time. There could even be silence or no communication between the two of you. That doesn't mean that your person isn't connecting to your energy by ways of, like, you know, ruminating on, you know, some good memories that you guys have, looking at photos and old texts and stuff like that. They do see you as somebody that they would want to marry, okay? But with this energy down here, where it says confusing attachment for true love, and they're trying to understand, like, where is my desire for pile 1 coming from, or pile 2 coming from? You know, is this desire coming just from a wounded ego? Is this coming from a healthy space, or is it coming from something that's, you know, not healthy at all? So they're not quite sure. It's like they can go back and forth between, like, feeling like, okay, pile 2 really is my person, and then sometimes, especially, you know, if they're feeling triggered or negatively activated, they could be, you know, questioning, you know, is pile 2 the best person for me? You know, let's see, where does pile 2 currently stand with their person? Sunglasses, but showing up in the reverse. So in the upright position, it says watching, looking, stalking, gaslighting, perception, and focusing out. They're trying to see things very clearly. They're trying to, okay? Your person is trying to get a very accurate read on the situation, and that might be why there's a sense of your person stalling, okay, when it comes to making any definitive decisions when it comes to you and their connection with you. At the bottom of the deck, we have abundance. It says keep a positive mindset, manifest exactly what you want, gratitude and bliss, okay? Yeah, they're trying to get a good read. They're trying to figure out their own true motivations. They're trying to understand the pull, the dynamic between the two of you, and where is it coming from? Is it coming from, you know, a sense of codependency? Is it coming from like a devil-like kind of an energy? Or is, you know, it coming more from that temperance energy that they're kind of feeling with the third party, right? They're wanting to make sure, it's like, you know, if I end this connection with the third party and invest fully and completely in a pile two, it's not gonna like blow up in my face, right? Let's see, what does pile two's person want when it comes to pile two and their connection with pile two? What do they want when it comes to finality? They want to know for sure. This is the question they're trying to figure out, you know, where is my desire for pile two coming from? They want to know. Your person is also feeling stuck in limbo. They are wanting to take action. They are wanting to make a definitive decision, but they want to make sure that the decision they're making isn't going to like blow up in their face, whether they choose the third party or they choose you, right? They want to know for sure. But let me see, let me get two more. Unlocking. This is locked doors are opening, removing blockages, love is coming. And then one more, we got beauty. Yeah. Intimidated by your beauty stands out in physical attraction. They definitely, you know, the physical attraction that they feel with you, they definitely enjoy that, you know, especially if there is a sexual connection between the two of you, they definitely enjoy that as well. There is fire between the two of you and passion that is unmatched, even by, you know, whoever this third party is. Now, I am going to say they are romantically and sexually attracted to the third party, right? But there is something about your guys's like connection and fire and passion that's almost primal. You know what I mean? It goes beyond, yes, you know, your physical beauty to them is, you know, they love that. They see you as very beautiful. You do stand out in a physical attractiveness way. But there is also just something about your guys' energy together. There's just something about your guys' energy together that just, man, it just goes. Okay, at the bottom of the deck we have getting pregnant. This is pregnancy, getting pregnant, building a family, and giving birth to something. Yeah, you know, your person is kind of being pulled in two different directions, wanting to build something with you. Maybe even literally they want to get you pregnant. They want to build a family. They want to, you know, come together with you and build something from your guys' connection. But there's always that but at the end of it. And that but is your person not really being sure, is that really the best thing to do? Not realizing or not knowing whether or not the foundation that the two of you have is something really built on stable ground, or is it just built on lust? Okay, that's the big thing. Tell me more about, let's see, finality here. Tell me more about finality. Finality says permanent ending, no more chances, goodbye to the old. Tell me more about finality for what pile two person. Yeah, they want to, your person is tired of feeling split. So there's a, you know, they want to know, what path do I take? Do I go the path with pile two, or do I go the path with the third party? They actually don't like being split. So tell me more about the finality, please. Yeah, they want to know who's their real match. That's what they want to know with the King of Wands in the upright position here. They see, so they're seeing both of you as like the Queen of Wands. They see you as a Queen of Wands, and they see the third party as a Queen of Wands. And so it's like, which one, you know, which one with you, the connection is just primal. There's just an inherent passion between the two of you. With the third party, you know, yes, the romantic and the physical attraction is there, the sexual attraction is there. It's not quite as exciting as their connection with you, but there's also the destructiveness isn't also there as well. And so your person is trying to figure out, like, which way do I go? Right? And so tell me more about unlocking. It says locked doors are opening, removing blockages, and love is coming. Tell me more about unlocking for what pile two's person wants with them and their connection with. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Yeah, look at that. Queen of Wands in the upright position. and the Ten of Wands. There's, you know, they do see you. Like they might see you and their connection with you as requiring more effort and more work on that, on their part. But with that Ten of Wands, that's effort and work that they're willing to do, because you can see this person working the land that they own, and the house that they owned is in the background. So they're seeing as it's a worthy responsibility, right? It almost feels, Pile, too, like they're looking for reasons. They're almost trying to convince themselves to choose you. What they're really afraid of, though, again, is really being burned by your guys' connection. They're afraid of choosing your guys' connection and having it blow up in their face. That's what but they do. They want to choose you. They're seeing it as like, you know, again, you're worthy of taking on the responsibility of whatever your guys' dynamic could be, but there's also this comfort zone they're having a hard time letting go of, because whoever that third party is, there's predictability there. It doesn't seem like your person feels too much of a responsibility to that person, which is another kind of a safe, what do they call that? A comfort zone, a toxic comfort zone. It's like they're trying to figure out, like, how do I hedge my risks here? And so they're trying to convince themselves that, you know, yeah, there is more to them. There's more risk associated with your guys' connection, but they're trying to talk themselves into it. Your person could be very risk averse to risk, okay? They're seeing, though, it's like if they could figure out how to, quote unquote, work the connection with you, it could be very exciting, very lively, right? I mean, they're kind of content with the third party, but they also aren't seeing, like, you know, there's no highs. Yes, there's no lows, but there's also no highs, okay? And if they're gonna be, you know, real with themselves, compared to your guys' connection, that their connection with the third party is kind of boring, right? Predictable and stuff like that. But I mean, it's serving whatever purpose it's supposed to be serving. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and end your reading there, you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me again today. If you got from this reading what you came here for, take a moment, smash the like button for me. It's a wonderful way to energetically donate to the channel. Comment below. Let me know that you picked this pile. Let me know how it resonated. Become part of the family if you haven't already done so, simply by subscribing. Don't forget about the notification bell so you don't miss a reading or an announcement. And pile 3, I will see you guys at your next pick a card love reading. Bye, guys. Hey, pile 3, welcome back. If you are new to my channel, my name is Michelle. We are doing a pick a card love reading, tapping in and channeling through your person's, who you are to them, where you stand, and what is it they're wanting when it comes to you and their connection with you. Okay, so just keep in mind, you guys, this is a collective, a general love reading, so whatever resonates, do whatever you want with it. If something isn't quite landing, just drop that message or that bit of information and leave it behind for whomever it's resonating with. I have personal readings available if you want me to tap exclusively into you and your person's connection. There's a lot of readings available in the specific person category. Many of them are just $25. I do have this exact reading available in this exact format. It's one of the longer readings, so not in the $25 category, but it is very insightful, okay? Yeah, so just see which ones fit your guys' needs. We're going to get right into your reading. Pile 3, you were drawn to the tiger eye, little skull. Tiger eye. Let's find out who you are to them currently, pile 3. We have nothing is yet set in stone with mutable moon. Who you are to your person, they haven't really quite decided yet. Okay. Being honest with the energy that's coming through, we have the 6 of Pentacles showing up in the reverse, the Emperor in the reverse, and the 4 of Wands in the upright position. So they enjoy the time that the two of you spend together. They see you, you know, they see you and the connection itself as being very lively. But as far as who you are to them, they're not quite yet, they haven't made up their mind who you are to them in the long term, okay? Well, we're going to see, actually we're going to do that now. Tell me more about pile 3's person. Let's see, out on the board we have mutable energy, so that is Sagittarius, Gemini, Virgo, and Pisces. We also have Emperor, which is Aries energy coming out. Pile threes person. Show me their real, true, honest thoughts and feelings when it comes to pile three, please. Pile threes, their real, true, honest thoughts and feelings when it comes to pile three. Oh, wow. Okay, this is favoring the side that says, I want to marry you, okay? But it did come out in a neutral position. So again, and that Four of Wands is a marriage card, okay? It's one of the marriage cards. And so they do see you as somebody that they would like to marry or that they aspire to marry. But with the Emperor being in the reverse, this is them like not feeling yet like ready for that. They're not in, you know, the upright of that Emperor energy. And the Six of Pentacles in the reverse could be showing you why that is. They could just feel like when it comes to resources, it's just there's not an equal give and take when it comes to this connection. And it's coming from your person with the Emperor in the reverse, okay? Let's find out more. So on the other side of that, it says living single. So yes, your person, they can see themselves being with you long term, okay? That energy is here twice with the Four of Wands. They're just not utilizing that. They're not walking that out. It's like, yeah, they can kind of see you. They definitely can see themselves spending the rest of their lives in the energy with you. But it's more in a, like maybe sometime in the future, maybe when I get my shit together, if I get my shit together, that kind of a thing, okay? And that might be why your person is like, I'm not quite yet sure who pile three is to me, is because they don't know where they're at, okay? It's hard for your person to figure out who you are to them when they can't even figure that out for themselves, okay? Pile three's person, their real, true, honest thoughts and feelings when it comes to pile three, please. I'm feeling on top of the world. You make this person feel so good. They really do enjoy you. They enjoy being in your presence. They enjoy spending quality time with you. There's even a part of them that wants more of that. But again, with that Emperor being in the reverse and that Six of Pentacles, I mean, there is a part of your person that is being responsible by acknowledging this about themselves. You know, they don't want to feel codependent, and they definitely don't want to be a burden on you. Your person does feel like somebody who would like to be an Emperor in the upright position, you know. That's somebody that's responsible in their connections. That is somebody that, you know, is more of an equal give and take. You know, they give as much as they receive, and your person's just not in that energy right now. But I mean, they enjoy you so much. Give me one more. Pile three's person, real, true, honest thoughts and feelings when it comes to pile three, please. This is your person looking at themselves, you know, when it compared to you and your energy and what you have to bring to the table. And they're just like, they see themselves as coming up short, right? And they're not wanting to give you the short end of the stick because they, you know, you and their connection with you deserves a lot more. This is what they're the way they're seeing things. Pile three's person, their real, true, honest thoughts and feelings towards pile three, please. Yeah, this is, I'm stalling to avoid taking action. Pure manipulation at the bottom of the deck. Let me see what's going on with that. Tell me more about this bottom of the deck energy. They don't want you going anywhere necessarily. That's not what it is. I mean, let me see. Tell me more about this bottom of the deck energy, please. Okay, it's on its way out. Yeah, they're not trying to, like, I mean, that may have been what they were doing at some point in time. I mean, that wouldn't be there if it wasn't. But your person is kind of like, if they ever were in this energy where they were just telling you what they thought you needed to hear to kind of keep you stuck on them, it's like they're actually wanting to do better by you and by their connection with you. You know, they don't want to hold you back from the connection in the future they know that you are worthy of, even if that means having to sacrifice the connection, you know, with you themselves. and that is part of them maybe healing that their own divine masculine energy, right? All right, then tell me more about pure manipulation at the bottom of the deck. Yeah, they weren't doing the connection. Maybe part of the way that they were manipulating things here was by not owning it, not claiming it, keeping this connection at arm's length. Your person could be afraid of failure, and so their way of controlling that was by basically preemptively, right? Cutting, the connection off at the knees so that they didn't have to be the one that failed. I hope that makes sense. Let's see. Tell me about I'm stalling to avoid taking action. That is showing up right underneath the Four of Wands. But tell me more. Towards what? I'm stalling to avoid taking action. Tell me more. Yeah, they're not working together with you. This is the Three of Pentacles in the reverse. And so this is not, almost a laziness. But there is kind of there's a strategy coming through in that. Not putting any energy, not working with you to build, towards a common goal in their connection with you. Why are we stalling? Oh my gosh. Because they can't. Wow, that's kind of. Wow. We have the Queen of Wands and the King of Wands coming out together in the upright position. Because when the two of you come together and you're on the same page, it would lead just naturally to marriage. It'll lead naturally to this Four of Wands energy. That's like the two of you are divine counterparts here. Fire energy, Aries, Leo, Sag coming through. But, the King and the Queen of Wands, those are both just, the fire energy is very dynamic. It's very magnetizing, confident. It's action taking, right? That's in alignment. And so with the two of you, if the two of you were, were to actually when the two of you are together, okay, and that might be why your person is like, they're stalling to avoid taking action, period. Because when the two of you come together, in these two aligned energies, those actions are going to lead to marriage, and your person is just not ready for that with that Emperor in the reverse and the Six of Pentacles in the reverse. So it's like they minimize the time, like the actual time they spend in your physical presence, because the more time they do spend with you, it's like there's a natural momentum that you guys get when you're together. It's like, if I spend more time with pile 3, we're going to end up together every single day. We're going to end up living together, getting married. And it's like your person is trying to look at things in a very practical, logical, common sense kind of a manner, right? And it's like they're not ready to build towards that yet. And so they minimize the amount of time that the two of you spend together in physical proximity for that very reason. They're not ready for marriage yet. They're not ready for commitment, even though they know that they'll be happy with you. They're already happy with you right now. Okay, let's see where it is you currently stand with them. Where does pile 3 currently stand with their person? Where does pile 3 currently stand with their person? Cupid's arrow with that one to come out in the reverse. Your person's blocking that as much as they can. This is have faith, love is coming, surprise invitation or meeting, and then of course hesitation. Yeah. Your person is all in their feels, right? Or it's almost like a part of them wants to be, but they keep cutting it off at the knees. It's like this, your guys' connection, just your guys' energy when it's fused together wants to get off the ground and run. That's fire energy, pursuit, fire, passion, magnetism. And literally, it's like your person keeps cutting the connection off at the knees because it's like, I'm not ready for that. I'm not ready for that momentum, right? So it's like all these arrows, you know, and your person's like deflecting all of them because, oh, I'm not ready for that. Where does pile 3 currently stand with their person? Have self-indulgence, but it is showing up in the reverse. In the upright position, it says focusing on self-worth, time to heal, shadow work, and yeah, that's what your person needs to do, and that is actually coming out on top of the Emperor in the reverse. There's healing and shadow work, and you know, the definitely shadow work that's needing to be done, healing. Your person's not doing it though. That's why they're kind of stuck in this Emperor in the reverse energy. They know what they want, but they're not ready for it. Not at all. And they're not utilizing, and they could have some, you know, confidence issues when that could be highlighted by your guys' connection. That could be triggered and activated by, you know, you being with you. Give me one more. Where does pile 3 stand with their person right now? A lot of blocked energy. Clock showing up in the reverse. In the upright position, it says needs time, takes time, time to heal, progress. Yeah, there's no progress being made, especially in the area or in the direction of really locking this connection in. The 4 of Wands, that's the commitment card, that's the marriage card, that's locking things in, that's all that great stuff, but it's just not happening. Again, I can feel it. There's a natural momentum that your guys' connection just takes. It's that dynamic. You can't help but move forward when you're together. And that's why your person, like, you know, minimizes the amount of time that you guys spend together for that very reason. Bottom of the deck, the runner. The runner at the bottom of the deck. It says runner in a codependent relationship. Fear of intimacy and listening to ego. Yeah. Yeah, they run from the connection because they know exactly where it's going to end up. Like, you know, your person sees it very clearly. They're like, you know, if they were ever to finally figure out how to flip their own inner dynamic into the Emperor in the upright position, it's like y'all would be engaged and married probably within like 6 months to a year. They know it. They can feel it. They've already felt it, which is why they keep cutting the connection off at the knees. I keep hearing that. Let's find out what they want. What is it that pile 3's person wants with pile 3 and their connection with pile 3? Engagement. They do. See, look at that. They want to commit to you. They want to make it official. They want to be able to, you know, make you promises that they know that they can, you know, follow through on. They want to be in that Emperor in the upright position to you, you know. It also says marriage in your future. So yeah, that's definitely what they want. Your person is saying, they're not saying no, they're just saying not yet, right? They're just not ready yet. But the main problem here is your person is not actually, they're not doing anything to help them get into the energy that they need to be in order to, you know, make any of this happen. This all feels tentative. They desire it. They even maybe have that intention, but it's like they're not following through because they're not doing the work, okay? What does pile 3's person want with pile 3 and their connection with pile 3? Going in circles and separation, yeah, okay, and that came out together, so I'm going to have that just be one. Going in circles says repeating cycles, not making any progress. Yeah, this is that I'm stalling to avoid taking action. The minute that your guys' connection starts to make any kind of progress towards engagement, commitment, marriage, they separate themselves, they withdraw, they disconnect. And this is the problem here. It says not learning lessons. that's why you guys keep going through this cycle. It's like you'll, meet up with this person, things are going great, and then all of a sudden it's like, boom, they cut it off at the knees, okay? Give me one more. Unrequited, one-sided love, not enough attraction, feelings are not mutual. Yeah, there could be a fear that your person has as well of like commitment and marriage and stuff like that, which is why they keep living that out, or that they keep living in the potential of marriage rather than the actual truth and reality of marriage and commitment. At the bottom of the deck, we have apology. This is confession, mending relationship, and rebuilding. That's fear and insecurity and doubt that's kind of driving things with your person, because there is that Emperor in the reverse energy and that Six of Pentacles. And so this is like your person, wanting to keep things, in an unrequited situation, or wanting to keep things one-sided. There's almost a part of them that prefers that, because again, that Emperor in the reverse can talk about control issues, okay? Needing to be the one in the control. And so that's where that pure manipulation energy is coming from. For some reason though, that energy is lessening. It's on its way out. And so your person is getting to the point where they don't want to manipulate you in the connection anymore, okay? It's weird because I'm not sensing where they're actually doing anything to heal that part of themselves. But again, it could just be them wanting to do right by you, right? With confession and mending relationship and rebuilding, yeah, that's fear. That's your person like, okay, when things get to be too serious, I'm going to cut things off. We're going to kind of go on a hiatus as far as the connection goes. And then when I feel safe again, or when things feel like they're able for me to control things again, I'll connect to pile 3. I'll apologize, I'll mend things, and we'll start rebuilding, okay? But it's a cycle. It's a cycle that keeps happening until your person like really allows themselves to heal. They get the help that they need. They face their inner demons or their addictions, and they do that shadow work and that integration. It's like it's going to be this cycle, This connection is forever going to be kind of held in limbo in terms of like, yes, y'all can see what the potential is, but it's just going to stay potential and not an actual lived experience. All right, you guys, we're going to end your reading there. Thank you so much for hanging out with me again today. If you got from this reading what you came here for, do me a favor. Smash that like button for me. It's a wonderful way to energetically donate to the channel. It's also a great way to show your appreciation. And thanks. Comment below. Let me know that you picked this pile. Let me know how it resonated for you. Become part of the family if you haven't already done so, simply by subscribing. And don't forget about the notification bell so you don't miss a reading or an announcement in pile 3. I'll see you guys at your next Pick a Card Love reading. Bye, you guys.